Hello there. Thank you. They said, hello, Mom. Come on, Shai. Let's finish. You want to do a board? So the second part from 1 to 2. First, I'm going to do Kiddie Pal. So Kiddie Pal is I'm going to do individual sessions for our 3-hour program. Congratulations to her father. He's got 2 hours now. So hopefully he'll do some baby fitness. I'm going to tell him to do with her because she likes to go inside of playgrounds. So maybe he can do a little bit more probably fitness because he's more physical. So he can probably give her more extra fitness time. Maybe he can do something like that with her. So Kiddie Pal is our additional first start off routine. Yeah. Oh, you want this one? You can have this one and I'll get blue. And so from like the 12 to 1, remember she gets her 30 minutes, our lunch, and then the other 30 minutes we're going to be preparing. That's when she'll do a virtual or video. We just did a Learning Kids English common phrases in the household. So we just did something like that. So I just put on like a 20 minutes, something to do as she get prepared. Oh, she just getting big, girl. She wants to get in the chair now. Okay, you want to get in the chair? All right, you can get in the chair. You want to get in the chair, right? I guess we'll sit in the chair, right, today. So that's the first part of it. So the second part, which is 1 p.m. now to 2 p.m., we'll do worksheets activity. So we're going to call that wordplay activity, where she's going to focus on now ABC Mouse we're doing too, but I haven't yet paid for a prescription or just I really got involved in that. But she may do that, but right now we're gonna do Can Kids for that. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do since that's free and it's got a lot of cool worksheets, like things she can do to get used to a little bit of technology. So I don't want them to get drunk off of technology. So I'm always like, I do want her to understand the importance of peace, quietness, physical one-on-one interaction with me as her educator instead of her always putting on a program, watching visual technology. I know that can make them dumbfounded or it can make them actually distracted from the real life reality. So I don't want to get them too caught up in that early. So her generation is Gen Alpha. So my daughter's generation or Gen Alpha. Say we 2019 to 2030. Okay? So you was born 2023. So her and her sister are 4 years apart. Alright, so I kind of spreaded my children out. 8 years, 4 years. Whew, I'm done, y'all. I can't imagine having one at 40 because that's when my birth control kind of go out. Got an implant. I'm going to have to check on that to see how I can get extended in that because God has made me witness, like, even if I say no or anything happen, I could still be raped and get pregnant. So now I'm like, okay, man, it got so clever, so I'm going to have to get cleverer. So I was like, you know what, I'll just get on birth control in case anything happens. Because I am in control, like I said, of what I do with my body. But I'm not in control of what others do toward me. But I can say, hey, once I know it's something that can protect me from something, then I can take those additional steps. So, like I said, you know, you can't control. You can just do as much as you can do. And that's why I keep saying discernment is very important. Pray for it. I don't think you really can pray for it. It's an inherited gift. So you can just stop, Mama. Don't do that. You're just going to have to listen to the wise if you don't have the gift of it. Or make sure you have good leadership above you if you know, trusting in someone. So it just comes down to, like I said, individual choices or whatever. But God is not too far and not too gone to where the hand cannot stretch for us to, like, save or give grace and compassion for those who are seeking that and want that. Okay, so Generation Alpha is what I will be raising, because again, my son that's in 2011, I'm not sure, I think he may be in Gen Z or he may be up inside of Gen Alpha. I'm gonna check and see, but if so, my 14-year-old son is possibly in Gen Z. Well, that will explain it all, why I got rejecting, and also will explain why that he has autism, because a lot of those kids coming from Gen Z are dealing with disabilities for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, so oh, he's such adorable. So from this, we're gonna call the next activity wordplay activity. We'll put Can Kids for that, and then the last, like I said, 2 to 3. Y'all know she gets her speech blub is a thing that I do, like a speech language thing to go along with what she's doing. 30 minutes on Mondays, and now that I'm working really earlier in the morning, which I love it. Like I say, I'm an early bird. I'm an early morning shift girl. I'm like energized, like literally from 4 a.m. to like 4 p.m. That is like my 12 hours is 4. Like between those times, I'm like very energetic. That's where you're gonna get the most of me, my energy, my you know, pretty much willfulness and mindfulness. Like I'm just very early, so my light, that's why I say I'm the light life bringer, balancer of light and darkness. And so I love to enhance my illumination very early on in the morning, where my mind is stimulated. I like stimulated tasks, physical and mentally, I like to do. So that's why I love, as you see, what I do. And I just could not do fast food. That does not stimulate me. It is just not something that I'm good at or would ever probably be. Only thing I could ever do for them is customer service, but I can't enhance in anything else. At least it was management, but again, that's still not my culture. Food is not I'm not really a food culture, although I'm known for Louisiana. Like, I love to cook, don't get me wrong. Far as my own personal life, like at home or something like that, I become to enjoy it. But cooking for others, like I said, creating other people's menu, doing their stuff, like, that's not something I do, but my husband like to do stuff like that. So he's mainly more into like the food culture. I'm more into, like I said, the retail, the customer service, the custodian. I deal with that part of backbone or caregiving for the society. So I'm more of those backbones in those areas, because it does allow me, like I said, to stimulate myself mentally, and it also keeps my body healthy because I'm always moving around, I'm always doing new tasks. You get new experiences in one way. You don't really have to change, but you can get like many things you can develop in different departments. So that's kind of give a good sense of, like I said, healthy balance for me. So she would do that to Coraline. So I won't be able to chime in on her 7:30 in the morning because I'm working around that time, and I'm not going to take a break to do that. So I'm just going to, like I said, thank y'all for allowing me the times I could. If I can, I would, unless I, something like that. But that's about it. Plus, I'm trying to keep it discreet and confidential where I'm located and working. And I trust the building is more safe and secure. Usually I have it all the way around secure, so I don't really think that was it. I really believe, like I said, it was what I said. And I'm glad I didn't go that route, because I think that's what they were going to try to apply and do. But yeah, so speech therapy from 2 to 3. We're going to do speech bubs. And then, like I said, we do our, read along. So that's when she gets her read along. Personally, from her mother. I remember my mother when I was younger in the 90s. Everybody know, y'all know how my mama was, Miss Maybelline. She came and read to us on Fridays, right? My mom was the oldest. Like I said, I grew up in the 90s, but most of their parents came from the 70s. My parents came from the 50s. So off top, I was already different as far as my molding and my culture, like the way. So everybody else really had young parents. I had older parents, so it was kind of hard, like, dang, y'all probably, like, they used to think my sister was my mom, because my sisters are like in their 50s. They're in the 70s, born in the 70s. So I guess that's why it was a disconnect. They alright, but we don't really get along like that. So I think it's just that war between 70s and 90s, because now she's competing with her daughter for a lover, because these men want younger girls, but at the same time they rejected her youth. So it's like she's got to fight with her own daughters for a lover, or I think she feels a resentment that her daughters are getting picked or developed, because we are 30s now. We're not in our 50s, so we are a lot younger. So I think that's the war between the mothers and daughters of that covenant. Luckily, like I said, I escaped it because of my different variety and where I come from. So we actually had parents. Even my husband, he escaped things because he had older He was raised with his grandparents, so we were raised with a lot of older upbringing. So I guess that's why we kind of get along better too, because we wasn't really raised around our youth or parents that were on that level. So that did give us an advantage to be able to navigate and deal with older people and some younger people. But I agree with my husband too on that. Gen Z came out to be very impatient. They can be very disrespectful, and it's kind of hard working around kids like that. So we definitely want to keep it where it's mature. A mature kind of work setting is what I enjoy. Mature. Okay. Let's just leave it like that. Age is maturity. And wisdom, me, I have no age because I'm immortality. That is my curse and that's my blessing. I'll be the youngest, but I'll be the oldest in the earth too at the same time. So, as far as my spirit too, it's out forever young in a sense. So like I said, Mom, that was so cool. So she used to come read in a class thing. We had a thing where parents can sign up. I don't know if they do that at any other things, but you can sign up and come to the classroom and participate like in readings and stuff like that. So I don't remember what day, but we have pictures. I know she probably still have, but like she used to come and she'll sit in a rocking chair and she'll read to my classmates and us. So my mom was a big example of that. She would, even if she worked multiple jobs, she always found the way sometimes to come be active in the school with us, especially when we were in a black school in Monroe before we moved to the more predominant white area or native area around my father's people. You know, he's never lived around black people. He's always lived on that private or, you know, where he was blessed with. But anyway, but my mom, she always been around, sitting around black people. So we grew up first in a predominant black area and black school. Nothing was too much wrong about it. Of course, we had a little neighborhood bully, some of them, some black girls, but it wasn't really a bad upbringing. We all could get along in the 90s. We had the candy store lady down the road. So, you know, it was okay. It was pretty cool, though. It was pretty cool. But, so we're having a black predominant school, so we got to do that. She got to come read to us. She was involved more. I was able to get in, like I said, different activities and different things eventually. So she did very wonderful as a single mother. But when it came back getting around my father, that's when kind of relationship got stagnant with her and us as the children. But, hey, that's on her. Okay, I still would never stop my mother from having a love life and whoever she want to choose. So I just stay away from him until, you know, he go rest or something like that. So I like that. Hello, Mom. Thank y'all. So that's basically what we're going to be centering around. And so we're going to get started in right now on that. But yes, so that gives us a broad example of, and I'm going to put that on the calendar and do her outline for this month too. So that'll kind of be where we're looking at of breaking down a session of hours or what she's going to be doing. And she loves to draw and write. It's something her father liked to do. He likes to draw and music. So he's more mainly like in that way, like art and music. I'm starting to like a lot of music and stuff like that. And I like to do writing and stuff like that. But I more do it in a poetic way and more different style way than him. But we share some of that together. So she done went over there and started on it. So we're going to get started.